Okay, everyone, I am back. I am in the LA Fitness parking lot. We're getting ready to walk into LA Fitness. And know this, I don't know what's going to come about. I am not here to start an argument or a fight in a public place. My hope is that I can actually talk to a manager that's calm, rational, and in private. In the event they don't, or they ask me to turn off the camera, I will turn it off, unless I need to turn it back on for personal reasons of defense. Because some people, the people that were here that day, they scared me during that time of, that I was going through. It was not the time or place. I really, really wanted a place to work out. I needed it in my life for physical and mostly mental. It's part of what kept me alive. I was always into healthy living. When this happened, I was excited to be potentially be a part, and already be a member of LA Fitness. I liked the name, and I wanted to be a part of a fitness center that had a lot of state-of-the-art equipment in it. So, understand when this happened in the locker room, and they threw the driver's license at me, I had to stand tall by myself, try not to cry in front of people, and go home, and I cried to Daddy. And then the best way to therapeutically work it out, I tried to contact the headquarters, and they were assholes. Get ready. Most people don't like a camera in their face. We're trying to do this as quickly and effectively as possible. Let's see if I can remember what I want to ask them. Hello, how's it going?
You're fine?
Great. Hey, listen, my name is Tracilyn, Michael.
Okay.
And I would like to speak to a manager that is on duty.
Okay.
Preferably a female if there is one available.
Okay. Unfortunately, there is not.
There is not.
Yeah, the one guy that's our membership representative, he just went on lunch. So, and we don't have a female manager. So.
Do you have anybody else that would be in the next rank as far as supervisor?
No, not really. I'm the only one holding the fort down for now. So.
What is the soonest that one would be back?
I would say within an hour, because he just left.
In an hour?
Yeah.
Okay, and what is his name?
Donovan?
Donovan?
Yeah.
Is it going to be possible for me to speak to him?
Yeah.
It would be?
Yeah.
Do you have a card or anything?
I can get your number and everything down.
Actually, do you have information with the fitness center here so that I could call and make sure? Because I'll be in the local area for a while.
Okay.
And I would really like, it's very important to me. I would like to talk to him personally today.
Can I ask what it's regarding?
I would rather wait and speak to him.
Okay. I don't think we have like official like fitness cards like with all that stuff on it. No. I mean, the next best thing, just take this because this has the address, the hours, everything, and the number of LA Fitness.
Okay.
So that's probably the next best thing.
So this guy's name, one more time.
Okay, Donovan.
Donovan.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to be back in an hour?
Yeah, his hours.
Which is what time?
It's 12:15, so it'll be 1:15.
1:15, and he'll be here till how late?
7.
7?
We close.
Okay, so would you let him know that Tracilyn
Sure.
is going to be returning right about 1:30 or
Okay,
so?
yeah.
1:30, 2 o'clock.
Sure, thank you.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Donovan. Looks to me like I won't be speaking to a female, but I spoke to her and she was kind. So in regards to what it's about, the thing is we want to be careful because it may be that this person had nothing to do with it, is not aware of it. So it looks like a nice fitness center, and that's what really hurt when that situation happened. So if LA Fitness Center headquarters, I know the whole staff may have changed by then. I want an apology. If I do not receive an apology, though I won't be smart to these people, they were not there, I will always promote the fact that I asked for an apology during a time of weakness, when I was near death, and I was pretty much laughed at and told that there's no need to apologize to me, that I was basically in the wrong for that. With all the outbreak of the transsexuals in the community, LGBT waving their flag of glory, understand that it's absurd to mistreat people because they're not what you've been taught is the idea of what a human being, female, male, should look like. Personal identity begins here. Not here. Not between the legs. How's it going? This is me. So you know that I had to delay to go to LA Fitness to speak with Davin, was it? I'm looking forward to going back. I hope he's as friendly as her and we can speak about it and put peace and move on with my life with that. I would appreciate that. I'm here at the first place. I got a bank account when I came here to Ohio. And if I'm not mistaken, Daddy gave me $50 that I could open up an account. It was important that I have my own account, and that way when I had needs, if any finances had to be put into the account, then I could freely get the things that I do need or write out checks. Let me tell you that I really wanted to keep track of every amount of monies that were being offered to help me in my financial endeavors. For this reason, I always believed that my life was going to turn around and I was going to be financially very comfortable. I really did believe that. And the truth of the matter is, maybe that will never come about, but I was hoping to reimburse him for at least the finances that he provided for me. That may never be. Nevertheless, let's think positive and know that I was really excited to come here to the Right Pat. It's an upscale, again, neighborhood. The whole area over here is upscale. You saw the fitness center is in a nice strip mall. Northfield Fairfield Road is actually filled with really a lot of nice landscape. In Beavercreek, Xenia has a lot of nice landscape, housing structures, etc. And I would say the overall mentality of a lot of Ohioans is very kind. You know, it's a Midwestern feel, and I appreciate it a lot. Let's see. I'm looking here. We are on North Fairfield Road in Beavercreek, Ohio. And this is the first account that I had here. I got to open it up with $50. I would not leave his car. I'd like to picture. I don't know why I put that. I would not leave his car. I'd like to picture. I don't know why I said that. Nevertheless, here we go. I wanted to show you really quick. Check it out. We're going to drive around the parking lot. And I want to see this myself in the years to come. I don't know if I'm going to stay living in Ohio. I've been thinking about possibly moving to Columbus. You know, I want to be involved in the transsexual, specifically female community. Obviously, I have musical endeavors I would like to do. At this point, I would like to follow suit with doing my music. Maybe someday I will have the opportunity to lead worship here or there, or maybe I'll be able to join a congregation and be able to do that. But right now, I really want to do my own music. So here's Beavercreek, Right Pat. I have no complaints with the bank itself. Obviously, it's still a member of Right Pat. I appreciate the services. They have always been very kind to me, but I've never had to get any loans or anything. So. Can't tell you about that too much. You'll have to try it out, and hopefully you have a good report. Now, I'm kind of nervous about doing this because I don't do this every day. What I'm going to do really quick is I'm going to go inside the bank, and I'm going to walk around and show you a little bit and leave. Not show anything, hopefully, that would upset anybody. It doesn't say no cameras on the door. If I see that, then I won't do it. But outside of that, this was a big start for me because I had to make sure that my son was receiving child support, and I had other financial obligations, that I had debt, you know, whether it be for medical bills or whatever the deal is, lawyer, attorney fees. I was on probation. I'm not sure if I paid that fine off yet or not. I forget if at that time, whether or not I had a car payment. I could look at my bank statements and I could tell. One thing that I love about this bank that I want to tell you, and is being able to log online. You don't have to keep the actual physical papers like on file unless you want to print things out. I don't know if they send snail mail or not. They might, but I get PDF, like most people at banks, you get PDF files, and they actually save them on their account. This makes it wonderful in moments like I was several times within the last 6 months. I had gone onto my account and I got to see the very first PDF file that was ever made. And that was made the day I opened up this account, which was, let me see, March 31st, 2009 was the day that I came here. So that was approximately a month and a half, like almost 6 weeks, since I came out here, and it was time to get established. And I'll tell you what, some of the feelings I was feeling was gratefulness, but I was scared. You know, not having work, knowing you don't want to be an adult entertainer for a lot of reasons. Not just because the laws are corrupted, but because it's not really, I always wanted to give myself to one special person. I still want that. I would love to have somebody special that's like a very good friend, like my best friend. And, you know, I can understand other people's, sometimes it's humbling saying that. I understand other people's desire to have variety, but maybe not now, maybe 10, 15 years from now, I'll end up meeting somebody who says, I have that out of my system. And I personally would appreciate somebody who would appreciate me. So I'm still believing in love for me, no matter what my life story entails. Let's go in here quick. My battery is about ready to drain. We can switch the battery and then I can take you to the other fitness center. And then we're going to have an additional treat if there's memory on here that I can use on my card. And then it's homeward bound to upload it to YouTube. There you go. Hopefully we don't get yelled at. Please don't yell at me. Mr. and Mrs. Right Pat, if you see this video, know that my heart just wants to capture a little bit of a twirl around. And we're out. So here we go. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Saturday 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and Saturday the drive-thru is open 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. and they're actually closed. So let's see. They're closed. So we do not get to see inside the bank. Maybe someday I'll be driving by and I'll stop in. If you remind me, will you send me an email at Tracilyn21 and say, just like in the subject line, reminder, the next time you pass by the Beavercreek, Right Pat, stop inside and show us what it looks like. So anyway, this is it. I'm going to head out and go to the next fitness center. What day it is of the week, I don't pay attention anymore. That's what's across the street. Isn't that beautiful? Like the landscapes here are absolutely, and Beavercreek is absolutely incredible. Look at the sky right now. I haven't seen like that shade of blue in a long time. And the clouds, there's lots of cotton up there. That's what it looks like. I'm kind of limping here on my foot. Beautiful parking lot, beautiful building. Today it's a beautiful blue sky, Tracilyn, and I feel much different today. I feel much different today than I did the day that I was here. Can I tell you that when I went in there and I signed up for the account, that obviously I was hurt and going through all kinds of things, being a transsexual female and just starting my transition. They were very, very, very kind to me. It was a lady, and I kind of faintly remember her. And if I used believe it or not, if I used my mind power, my mind strength, I could probably focus in and pull her face into my mind's vision. And the truth of the matter is she was very, very kind, and I really appreciate and value her. I have personally not had any problems whatsoever with Right Pat since I've been out here. I was a part of the Lebanon Federal Credit Union years ago at Lebanon, Pennsylvania. I've always liked Bank of America. As far as National Bank, I don't know much about them. Maybe you do. And there's things I don't know that I don't want to know. But Right Pat has always been very kind and respectful. Minor things maybe, but for the most part, they're always nice. And I'm grateful to have been able to sign up here. And I'm glad that they keep the PDF files of the first bank statements onward. So you have like a filing cabinet online of your information. And that means a lot to me because I'm sentimental. And I get excited when I can see the very first bank statement of when I came into Ohio. Goofy, huh? Here we go. I am goofy. Because this was important to me to finalize kind of like a life story catch-up series. But I'm not calling this part that, because this started here in Ohio. I finally have peace in my life with the life I had prior to coming to Ohio. I have forgiveness, and believe it or not, just from evaluating from 460 miles away from the town I grew up in, I realized that it was, in a lot of sense, it was very beneficial and therapeutic for myself to do. There are some alterations that I would have loved to make, and one of them is I wouldn't have been stuck out in Ohio alone. I could have got along better with people and been more involved in ministry work and doing the things that I really desire to do. So we're focusing on the music, healing, and hopefully I'll meet some good-hearted people that are fun to be around, and I'll continue on. We are in Fairborn! Can you see it? There it is. Water Tower. Tradition, Innovation, Fairborn. Saluting Wright Patterson. Water Towers. And here's the thing. This used to be called Premier Fitness in 2009. When I had the problem with LA Fitness, I came here. It is now called Everybody Fitness. With that being said, when I went through what I went through at LA Fitness, I was really hurt. I came here. On the other side of this glass door is used to be like a counter, and I walked up to an older gentleman, and I explained to him that I was a transsexual female. I explained to him what happened at LA Fitness. I told him I really did not want to cause any ruckus. I didn't want to cause any ruckus, but because of my identity, I use female restrooms and locker rooms. Would that be a problem if I came to his gym? And I tried to stress the importance of knowing I'm here to exercise and be supportive of others too, if it's all right. I do not want to stir up any kind of emotional turmoil where people would be upset and want to quit the gym or nothing like that. I didn't want to harass anyone. I was here to pretty much give therapy to myself physically and mentally. With that being said, guess what? He smiled at me and he said I could use either locker room that I wanted to. It would be okay with him. I was relieved. I even had problems at a fitness center there, New York Fitness, where they tried to work out with me. I ended up having to use a separate restroom, and the the mall hallway, which, you know, was still a female restroom, but can I be honest with you, is I felt like kind of like I was being outcasted. Like people didn't really understand how important it was to me to see through my transition without offending or hurting people. But also it was quite a humbling experience to have to make alterations from what would be considered and perceived as normal. A lot of things have changed since then in our society here in America. And can I say it's about goddamn time? You know, because that was really ignorant for me to have to go through it. It was painful. Most people, and a lot of people, a higher percentage than not, of transsexuals in our community that would have to endure and go through what I went through, they wouldn't be here with us today. Okay? I'm very grateful that I had the support that I received, and this is one of the facilities that made it a reality to me. I was upset because fitness was a huge part of my life since I was 7, and it was taken away from me. When I travel as an escort, it's the one thing I did. And I'm going to share with you some other things I should have done as I go through this quick of the years 2009 to where we are today, 2018. Since coming out here first in Dayton, Ohio, Xenia, Beavercreek, to look, hi. It's fake, isn't it? Ta-da! I shouldn't sit on it probably. Now I have a dirty butt. Do I have a dirty butt? Okay, so here we are. I don't know if it's okay to go in here. We're going to kind of walk around. Let's see, they have all kinds of equipment. And the bathrooms are back in there. I don't know if it'll be okay for me to kind of take the camera in and talk. If they, for some reason, ask me to leave, I will not be upset. But maybe I'll get the opportunity to walk in here quick and show you. I really might not have the card to be able to go in. If I lived close to here, I would probably join this gym. There was somebody very special that I mentioned about who used to work out here. He was a trainer, and when I would come in early in the morning, usually before 9 o'clock or right around 9 o'clock. And they have all kinds of machines and stuff. He would offer me tips and tricks. He would always say things to lift my spirits. Everybody that worked here did. So they respected me, and they never once, I paid attention, and it never once seemed like they were observing me as I went into the bathroom. You know, everybody was really cool with it. Not one complaint the whole time I was here. Like I said, I just wanted to be able to, pretty much, I always go to the gym in my fitness clothing, because then when I go home, that's where I get a shower and change around and all that. For the most part, that's the way it was when I was here. As I just came, worked out, used the restroom once or twice, and then I left. You know what I mean? I'm just being me, and I didn't want to stir any kind of trouble. So all I had to say is nice things about this facility. I don't really know because I'm not a member today. The name has changed. At least what it was back in the time. I would highly recommend it, even for trans people. But in my opinion, it's not about being honest. It's if you feel that it might cause some kind of problem. For me, I go to a gym like here, and where I was at that time, I had to tell them because I didn't want to be kicked out. Like I was trying to explain to them, I don't want to be kicked out because of who I am. This is what's going on. I'm transitioning. My driver's license says male, but I identify as female. I have paperwork to show you. Actually, he said there was no need to explain. He understood, and it was okay. And he honored the words. So they asked me a few times into it, and while I was here, how things are going. I always told him I was very happy, and thank you for letting me be a part of the gym. LA Fitness, I hope that you've learned through life experience is that it's best to just be respectful to all people. And I don't know what the real answer is for that other girl on the other side, except for maybe she's the one who should have been invited to leave, if that's how strongly she felt about it. You know, or she could have used another restroom and maybe not used the locker room at all when she was there. Don't know what the answer is, but when people judge like that, I know I wouldn't want it in my gym, and I would tell them that they are welcome to leave if they want to, but this female can use the locker room anytime she wants, so long as she's not, what? Purposely trying to stir up trouble. And her idea, I guess I was purposely stirring up trouble, right? Who has the answers? Can you leave a comment? Can you tell me what maybe is the best way to handle a situation like this? Did you ever go through this? You want to be a part of something? It might be personal therapy, meaning it might be therapeutic for you. Like, I used to go to the gym. I opened a gym myself. I mentioned that. John's gym, John Long, who was a serious bodybuilder in London, Pennsylvania for years. I admired him very much, and lots of serious bodybuilders went. It was like a garage, like a 3-4 bay garage that was converted into a gym. Plenty of equipment to work out with. Beautiful stereo system, tanning beds. He sold products, merchandise, stuff with his logo on it, food, supplements, you name it. Anyway, it was a very serious gym, and I volunteered to open it because I like to go first thing in the morning. In other words, what got me out of bed was I'm going to the gym. But I don't want to be big and strong with big muscles like a lot of people. I'm actually learning that I went the wrong way, because I used to drink a lot of weight gain and all kinds of supplements, aminos, to become I wanted to be very strong, a very serious bodybuilder. And a lot of that was because I was bullied a lot since childhood. That was my story. Once I acknowledged what's going on with me mentally, I realized I went the wrong way for me. And I really like being slender, being toned, being fit, healthy, eating healthy, and a little bit of exercise so I don't overdo it. Music and life in general, all my passions are very important. So I don't want to be in bondage like I used to be, but I gotta tell you, look. I miss the smell. I miss the machines. And sometimes the interaction. And I gotta be honest, I like a hard body. Not on me maybe, but because I'm delicate. I like all kinds of bodies, really. I'm more attracted to the mind. So that's it. We can maybe try get in. No chocolate, no slamming doors or windows. You cannot have an active account or want to pay him. So anyway, it's all locked up. But here we go. That's the equipment. And I tell you, what I really love the most is right there. The elliptical machines, especially a high quality one. And I used to like riding these bicycles that you can sit down. The stair climber, not so much. And of course I have a treadmill at home. Machines? I'm not so much into the old-fashioned machines so much as and I even have a lot of ideas up here for state-of-the-art equipment with readers and stuff, so you can, when you're working out, you can get different readouts on your body, which I would value. But I love very lightweight for me nowadays. I used to lift very heavy, but I'm more into lifting very light. I just kind of really value and appreciate a fitness center gym atmosphere where other people are coming to do whatever it is that they enjoy doing, or doing that. Meaning, are they doing it for the mind, mentally? Are they doing it for physically? Are they doing it just for a hobby? Are they very seriously active? I like to see that, I would like to think that I'm very supportive of all people. If it's their first time ever doing it, and they feel they're out of shape, or they want to lose weight, or they want to go the other way, I feel that I can be very supportive. It's something I'm very passionate about. So I could just hang out with somebody while they work out and give them a bottle of water, or hold their towel for them and wipe their sweat off their body. Maybe with my shirt or something, privately. Towel girl, who needs a towel girl? I would say one of the things that I struggle with as a transgendered and out kind of personality is secrecy in relationships. I went through a lot of hiding things throughout my life, and then when I finally came out, all of that pain from that and heartaches started to disappear quickly. New ones came in, but those started to disappear. With that being said, it's nice to be in the presence, in the moments that you can be with somebody. And one thing that Daddy had showed me is when he would walk down the street and hold my hand, or he would kiss me in public, that's the kind of man I want to be with. Somebody who understands the rest of the world is not paying attention in most situations. Unfortunately, at times, there are people who acknowledge a transsexual, and they can say some words in public setting that, let me tell you, you gotta have your shield up. Because there's a lot of things you'd like to do to people like that, and it can be humiliating when you're with somebody you're very attracted to, and because of somebody else's rudeness and perception maybe of their own insecurities, they're taking it out on somebody who's trying to enjoy the companionship with somebody like myself. And I think sometimes I know that hurts. So I have to have like a double shield, because I've met some men that will simply not be in public with somebody like me for all kinds of understandable reasonings. The problem is that I have with that, unless it's really beneficial to me, I realize that I don't want to be caged up in a privacy of a relationship. So that may mean I have to spend a lot of time, and for the rest of my life I have to be alone. My hope is that people will become stronger and care less about what other people think. I hope someday to meet somebody, maybe a B15, maybe they'll see this video and God will grab a hold of them and start needing them, and over the next 15, 20 years, they'll say, you know what, in this lifetime, I want to love Tracilyn. No. There's a lot that changed since 2009, and thank goodness for that. Everybody Fitness, I think that's a beautiful name. Everybody is in red. Everybody Fitness. Meaning everybody can be there. What do you think? I don't know if the same people work there or own it. I don't know if they remember Tracilyn, also known as V-Cat. Back then I wasn't V-Cat, I was just Tracilyn. How you doing? I don't even know if I was blonde at the time. No, but anyway, it was a very memorable time of me being able to go somewhere to do something what I would consider normal living. Now, what do I do for finances? Because I can't expect somebody else to take care of me, and I was going through hell with my mind thoughts because I did not want to be an escort anymore. Understand, I don't want to make anybody feel bad. It was for a season, and I have a lot of memorable times that I really loved and appreciated, and people that I met that I'm very grateful. I would have never met them anyway, any other way. So with that being said, I'm really into being myself. I want to love someone. My hope is to someday live in a beautiful house, have a beautiful new car, beautiful friends, be surrounded by beautiful scenery, travel, and do my music, playing beautiful theaters with musicians that don't care that I'm a transsexual, and that I can be more myself and be comfortable in our relationship, and we can have a lot of fun together. That's my hope and my dream. It seems kind of simple, doesn't it? So it'll be interesting to see, is it possible for this to come about? I'm believing for the best that it's going to. I wanted Daddy to be in my life for the rest of my life, and one of the things that I'm going to say a couple times in this video is I've learned about the God of life because of our relationship and the relationship of other people, and being a transsexual female. I will explain a little bit about that. It feels like it was just 2009. It really sucked being in a strange place, wanting to get your life straightened out, but being scared to death on how it's going to transform. I had to volunteer out here because I was running the risk of possibly going to jail for a crime I did not commit. Shame on the York County Police Department for pressing that false charge against me. Maybe it saved me from things, but I definitely know it fucked up my head bad. Ain't nothing like having that over your head and knowing what did I do wrong that I ended up receiving that. I couldn't believe that I witnessed that. Meanwhile, I'm living with my daddy, and I shared with you all that was. And to know that he's moved on, and I'm out here not necessarily alone, but I'm facing electronic harassment, meaning I'm being targeted by a person that I actually met in Nashville, Tennessee. My only form of communications is online. Facebook is blocking my content, limiting the content outgoing and stuff. They're changing the view counts on my videos. YouTube is doing the same. And can I tell you that I know that this person, Stephen C. Johnson, has access to my accounts, and he's playing head games with me continuously. I wish that there were an attorney and detectives that would hear my story, this story about electronic harassment. Call me, 937-242-2375. My email is tracilyn21@gmail.com. I have a website at tracilyn.com. And we could speak. And I know where he used to live in 2010, which was coming up after this. I ended up leaving Ohio in 2009. I want to think about the exact reason. I ended up going to a church community. I ended up getting my volunteer service in. I was trying to have a life. One thing that I failed to mention is I walked out and saw my daddy with another girl in the community. In my opinion, I think, from what I understand at the time, she was a cross-dresser. And I was dealing with my own, can I be honest? I was dealing with my own emotions with the fact that I never really believed I was a cross-dresser. I always believed I identified as a female. I never went through any more than a month and a half of a season of cross-dressing where I tested it out in the very beginning stages in 2007. Once I knew what was going on, and within 6 weeks, I was all in at being full-time. I had to make the transition. Okay? I'm not saying there's anything wrong any other way. But understand that I knew without a shadow of a doubt Tracilyn is attracted to hot men. What I mean by hot is up here. Don't assume that you know what hot is to me. Somebody who's well-mannered, well-groomed, very intelligent, loves conversation, compatible interest and has a sense of humor and is confident in being with somebody like myself. I'd love to, I'm one of those people that would say, Mama, give me a man that I can love with all my mind, heart, and soul. Fat chance maybe, do you think? But the truth of the matter is, that's how I really felt. And it's not just anybody. Just because I love men doesn't mean I want to be with any man. And I'm learning that more and more. There's somebody very special for me. I want to be committed to one person. That's what I want. Whether or not I get it, what do you think? Maybe, maybe not. So, being with somebody with the potential that is considered to be a cross-dresser in the community, who also is okay and comfortable with themselves to sleep with whoever they want, and they like variety, know this. It was hard on me because I want to be with somebody who is infatuated with me and wants to be with me, and we could have a life. I, at that point, am kind of, not that I want to be boring in a relationship, but I'm kind of past all the sex stuff. Even though I'm still stuck in escort mode, I want out of it. I want to just be Tracilyn and do my rock and roll ministry and be with somebody special and all the things I said. And now we're going to go back to LA Fitness, and then after that I'll show you the first health food store I went into since when I first came out here, if they're still open, and then I'm going to go home and upload this. I have more videos coming. I'm doing this mini-series of 2009 up to now. I would say we're still in 2009. Know this, I left Ohio after going through all the things that I did in 2009, and every time I left, my heart ached. My heart bled in pain. I don't want to leave, but I got to keep life going. And can I tell you, I didn't know how to get my needs met because I wasn't taught in school properly. At that time, I am a person who is saturated with listening to Joyce Myers. I have taken most of the advice that I could pull out of falling into agreement with other Christian leaders and teachers. And can I tell you, some of it was beneficial, but more so than not, I have learned, do not, and I'm going to tell you, do not, with me and other people, don't totally fall in agreement with the speaker, because when you apply their teachings, it can be devastating. When I fell into agreement listening to people like Joyce Myers and stuff, I didn't realistically know how to apply, how do I get my needs met? We're going to talk about that. I talked about being at a mental institution where a lady sat beside me, and she told me, after I left here in Xenia, Ohio, don't you dare go back to that person, to the state, because it's an unhealthy relationship for you. Stay in Pennsylvania and I'll help you. We'll talk about that, because what ended up happening is I told her I have nowhere to go. I don't want to be homeless. Can I stay in the mental hospital? Is there a homeless shelter? They called a few homeless shelters, nothing. Okay? There was no government program or no program available that I could just get a voucher and go to a local hotel room and work with my social worker in how I can best get my needs met, so I had food, a safe home to live into, and I could get my life started. Because of that, I ended up coming back out here again, more pain and suffering. All I'm doing is listening to Joyce Myers and eventually Joel Osteen and other Christian leaders applying their teachings, and I'm not getting the results that I needed. You'll find out in 2012, when I finally let go of all that stuff and applied intelligence, which didn't seem in alignment with things I was being taught. They left a lot of important information and factors out that I'm going to share with you. It's no secret. It's what you need, and we all need, in order to maximize their fullest potential in this thing they call life. I love you, even if you don't love me, says God. I really wish that things would have turned out different. I would have never left here. There's a big part of me that says I should have held my anchor down and said, I am not going nowhere. We are going to make this work. Okay? Despite what we've been through, I still love this same individual. I learned later on, even now, that I realized that we both may have been targeted electronic harassment. Number one, this was a military person, ex-military person, if you will. I'm a transsexual. I'm not fitting in the mold. I was an adult entertainer. The bottom line is, we as a society are more targeted than you realize. Oh, we'll get to explain that here in a bit. We're still in 2009. Tracilyn is leaving after getting HIV tested, all sexually transmitted disease test. Daddy got to show me a side of life that I really wanted bad. Beautiful home, a beautiful location, friends. I was slowly starting to dab in a rock and roll ministry. I wish I could have stayed out here and things would have worked the way that my mind likes to play, that it would have worked. And lived happily ever after. So maybe this is where I'll stay, maybe not. Here we go. I'm going to LA Fitness. Let's hope we don't get into a fight. Okay? That's my hope. No fight. And then onward to home. Tracilyn is tired. Write out our plan for tomorrow. Go to bed, wake up, and do it all over again. Bye. How you doing? This here is Tracilyn again. We're back on, and we're at LA Fitness in Fairfield. No, on North Fairfield Road, Beavercreek. The address is 2500. Now here's the thing, check this out. And it's right beside Toys R Us. And Babies R Us. Isn't that cute? Now here's the thing, and I think it was here when I was here then. And it looks like they're going out of business. Now here's the thing, check this out. I'm back. I want to speak to Davin. And the main thing is, I don't want to argue and fight. I just want to explain what happened that day. I want to ask them where their standpoint is on transsexual females being a member of their gym. Have peace. And tell them that I never was given an apology. Okay? And that I would appreciate one at any given time. In fact, I may give them a business card. Anytime that they feel that they're ready, they could give me a business card. And give me an email. That's what I'm saying. Okay. I wish I had my driver's license, but again, my driver's license is missing from my apartment. My Pennsylvania driver's license. I kept it in my filing cabinet. I'll talk about that with my legal documents going missing, which means that the people invading my privacy via satellite may have had a means to be able to break into my apartment without my approval and take my driver's license. Here we go. Let's do this, and then we got one place to go, and Tracilyn has to go to the bathroom. We won't ask here. I don't want to argue about it. I don't want to argue about it. By the way, don't you feel that health insurance companies should provide a full transition for people who identify as female? They're on their way, but I think they should move faster. I think they should get their asses in gear, and it's a very serious priority to a lot of females that are going through it. It's devastating to have the mind of one gender, but because of a body part, you were taught to identify with that. Which means that you're supposed to be something that you're totally not. In most situations. Thank you. Here we go. Hello.
How you doing?
Great. Are you Davin?
Donovan.
Davin? Mm-hmm. Donovan.
Yep.
Is it possible that we could speak privately?
What are you filming about?
Huh?
What are you filming about?
I am filming about a situation that had happened to me in this fitness center back in 2009. Are you comfortable with the camera being on or not?
No.
Will you talk to me about the situation?
You're not allowed to be filming.
Really? And who are you?
I'm not saying that on camera, but I do have the picture of the capturing images of another person without their permission, cell phone, mobile device, or other equipment on the video capabilities. It is strictly prohibited in this facility. This is an invasion of privacy and may result in termination of membership and contact with law enforcement.
Okay. That's somewhere posted here publicly
it's
that I was
posted
seeing?
there.
All the way through there. I even have a picture of it as well.
Am I allowed to actually see that? Because it's not up front here in front. I wouldn't videotape in there without approval.
Unless you're
But
a
it's-
member, I can't even let you pass the front desk.
Okay, so you heard it. I can't even pass the front desk. They won't talk to me about it. It's pretty much the same attitude that I confronted in 2009. My last question is, do you have any transsexual females that are a member of your gym? If so, are you treating them today with more respect than this fitness center did back in 2009?
As long as you got the camera on.
You don't want to answer?
Turn the camera off.
Okay. So I'm going to turn off the camera and see if they will. I'm a kind-hearted person. I'm not here to start trouble. Okay? So, but I was never given an apology for a situation that happened here. I'm going to talk off camera. Okay? All right, guys. I'm getting ready to leave. And I just wanted you to check this out. Yep. I am not, I don't see anything posted here. I am not allowed to record indoors. They don't want me past the desk. So I'm going to respect that, and we're going to exit. The one lady had apologized to me. Okay, they had asked me to take the video down. There's no fun. The thing is that's very important to me is that you realize right now that indoors, I myself, Tracilyn, do not see no sign posted that says you cannot videotape in this store. So my hope is that I don't upset anybody, but the bottom line is I'm posting my video anyway. And I did respect them. I shut it down when they asked me to, and I explained to them my feelings and perspective on what happened that day. They didn't work here in 2009. You've seen how they responded to a camera. Most people don't like a camera in their face. But the truth of the matter is you've seen how they responded, and I felt the energy. Not saying kind or not, but the truth of the matter is that is what you deal with at LA Fitness. It's not necessarily maybe their responsibility, right, for what happened in 2009. That they just simply having a camera on. They just do not appreciate that whatsoever. Supposedly behind, where I'm not allowed to be because I'm not a member, there is a sign there that says no cameras, but that's in the fitness center. That, myself, in my opinion, being a public facility, walking up to the front desk, I did not see any signs. So we're going to scan this one time and then we're out of here. And we're going to go up here to the nutrition store that I loved very much. And hopefully there's forgiveness here. And these people know that I am not trying to upset anybody. Right, here we go. So anyway, really quick. Ooh. There is nothing on the door. Simple. They said about, calling the cops. Scare tactics. If they come across the video, know that I don't want them to be upset. I don't take anything down because, believe it or not, I really do understand that we have legal rights as United States citizens. LA Fitness headquarters. I myself, this has nothing to do with them specifically here. I am let's go over here. I am extremely pissed off that I have never received an apology for what happened here. And in my opinion, if it matters, it doesn't seem like anything other than we had an apology and people are people, and it would be really interesting to know if a transsexual female went to join this gym today, how would they be treated? It would be nice to meet somebody to go undercover and find out. In my opinion, I can say that I don't believe that LA fitness mentality has changed. Okay? Maybe I've become very, very sensitive to things. Very much so. But I would never go to another LA fitness again. And not these people specifically, but the people back then and the headquarters, in my opinion, the people back in 2009 and headquarters are a bunch of assholes. Okay? I can't believe the shit that I have been through and the lack of compassion and inhumanity. I'd rather obviously not deal with people who have thoughts of opposition from what I think, and I'd rather leave it in the past for the rest of my life, not necessarily with what happened today, but with headquarters and whoever it was that said to me in 2009, I don't feel that we owe you an apology. I will always have that, not to use as a weapon, but to use as a testimony of the disbelief in my mind that anybody that has a fitness center would hold such a harsh attitude. If I had a fitness center, I would want, as long as people were level-headed when they walked in, I would hope that anybody could walk through the door and be respected, and the ones who did the disrespecting would be asked to leave the gym for that reason. Okay? It seems that in the world, a lot of people like to give favor towards the people who do the disrespecting versus the person who's being disrespected. So, I love you guys. And, if the staff here that I was speaking here today see this video on YouTube, I told them it's going to be on, under LA Fitness. If they're upset about it, then they need to take whatever steps and measures they can legally. I have the right to hold my camera wherever I go. And the truth of the matter is, I didn't see no posting of any sign. That's number 2. And number 3, once they asked me, I asked them if it was okay. Once they asked me not to, I shut it off. So, there you go. There you have it. It's in the past. LA Fitness, not necessarily these people, but in my opinion, is a bunch of assholes back in 2009 for throwing my driver's license at me and telling me that they do not owe me an apology. If you are the CEO or team members at LA Fitness, I can only imagine that you are ugly son of a fucking bitches, mean as shit. And I can only imagine that it bleeds down into your franchise. Don't worry, I will never go to LA Fitness again in my life. Okay? If for any other reason, a very disrespectful experience. Okay? Seems like a little lack of heart, a lot of coldness. Good day. All right, so know this. In my opinion, I just want to say that I acknowledge that I feel very passionately in love with Jesus Christ and the fruits of the Spirit. Very much, and that's how I became. And it's kind of challenging, and a lot of times, when you need to speak with other people, maybe about something in that situation that happened years ago even. What would I like to see done with it? I would like a letter of apology from headquarters. And maybe they should, forward some very kind words of encouragement. They most certainly can keep in mind that over the years I will always use that as an example of the ignorance in the human race, of the lack of compassion and consideration for others, knowing that we're here to work out. We all are there for various reasons, but similar reasons. And the lack of support in that, and in that situation in 2009, the disrespectfulness that occurred was truly uncalled for, and there was an apology that was in order that was never given. I would never, no matter where I am in the United States or on the planet, ever go to an LA Fitness. And in my opinion, if you're a transsexual female, I don't want to deter you. If you go and you have a great time, know that it has to do with the mentality of the local area. It has to do with the mentality of the staff. It has to do with the mentality of the community or the members that are there. It's not always just a facility specifically. It's the mentality of people. And that can vary from one person to a whole lot of people. But again, when they threw my driver's license at me, and there was 2 big guys standing on top of it, that's 3 of them and 1 of me, that was a very displeasing experience. That hurt me greatly, because I couldn't make these mean 3 men understand where I was at. And technically, if I would have been strong enough, I could have got a lawyer, LA Fitness, and at that time, I could have pressed for charges against your facility in my favor. I was not strong enough then. I personally don't like to argue. However, these are things to ponder. If you're going through this, know that in my opinion, I would love to meet a strong transsexual female in the area who would love to join this LA Fitness and put them to the test. I really would. And I'd love to be the witness and testify how they treat or mistreat, the community like that. So if you live in the local Ohio area, know that I'm available. And I wish that I could connect and communicate with an attorney who knows the laws, the details, because people that conduct their behavior like what was done to me in 2009, in my opinion, action should be applied against them so that they get the point. I don't like LA Fitness. In my opinion, not necessarily the staff, but the company itself is asinine. Okay? So I heard that Planet Fitness, don't know for sure, but I heard Planet Fitness started up not so long ago in a few places located out here in Ohio, and supposedly they're LGBT friendly. It's about time, if it's true. If I had a fitness center, I would want anybody that's nice to come, and I would love to be supportive and help people get through whatever it is that they're doing. I would even provide additional time, emotional support, just because that's the kind of person I am. Health and fitness is very important. Please don't let assholes deter you from becoming who you are. Body is an art. Bodybuilding is an art. I don't want to work out like I used to work out. I don't want to be big and strong like some of these other guys, like even the guys that were there today. That's not my thing, okay? I'm more into doing it for mental, for stress. Decompressing is what I say. It lifts my energy for healthy reasons. Have a healthy heart. Enjoy life. And tone yourself while looking good. I love the way a gym smells. I said that. I love the way to be on machines. I love to use the elliptical. I don't want to do it all the time. I'm thinking probably, in all honesty, I'd rather work out at a home gym. Then I know I'm doing life the way that makes sense to me. If I have a beautiful home and a small fitness center in it, maybe a big one, I would be very proud. Very much so. So, with that being said, I have something to show you. Let's see if we get thrown out of here. Now, I did not get thrown out of there, and I want to make it clear. The lady apologized to me. She said, she was not there 2009, but she apologized. They mentioned about, no camera, so I turned it off. But the truth of the matter is that there was no notation that any cameras were allowed to be in it. So for my safety, I had it on know that for my safety I had it on. My witness is in my hand, the camera. When they asked me to turn it off, I turned it off respectfully, talked to them, I expressed how I felt about the circumstances. I understood that they were not there. I asked them where they were at. In all honesty, I did not feel satisfied. The only thing that I did feel satisfied about is the assistant manager was very kind, and he had mentioned that he has not ever seen any problems with transgendered women being there. Okay? The lady herself apologized on behalf, so thank you. I'm posting my video, and life goes on. In my opinion, to the general public, you can leave a comment down below. Please do. I would highly recommend against joining LA Fitness. In my opinion, it looks like a really nice gym, but the overall mentality is low grade, you know. It'd be nice to be a part of a fitness center like I once was, where people actually were kind to you and they like to lift your spirits, and they don't care which restroom you use. There you go. I prefer the ladies, thank you. It's what I identify with. Here we go. I want to show you this really quick. So, peace with that. LA Fitness headquarters. Your mentality sucks. Never got an apologize from you, but I got it from her today, so there you go. Closure. Okay, we let it go. Health foods. Health foods. I don't see no signs here. It said no camera inside. Let's go through a quick tour, and then I'll tell you about this, and then I'm ready to go. Sorry, no public restrooms. Our water machine is out of order. Fair trade. Ask for a certified enzyme inside. That's it. Health food stores. How you doing? It's good to see you. Thank you. Very kind. Didn't mention anything about me having a camera. I really loved when Daddy brought me here, because one of the things I was mentioning when I was in Kelowna is I want to be healthy, whether that's fitness or diet. Very important. But I also like, just like anyone else, I like my, what you call it, junk food? Different foods, but when I remember in Kelowna, when I was staying at East Maple Street, in my apartment, when I was in the kitchen, I remember standing there and I was thinking to myself, someday I want to be a vegan. But I don't want to just be a vegan. I want to be able to eat a variety of food, interesting ways. Can I just say the highest quality food in America and beyond? I would really appreciate that. Especially being with somebody in a relationship, or a lot of people who love high quality food and they know the difference. And I would like to be able to go to a store like this on a regular basis to purchase myself food, and maybe on a rare occasion, and we get a bottle of wine for a very special occasion, maybe by the fireplace or outside, as we get to watch the moon and the stars. Even chips, whether they're better for you or not better for you, apple juice, organic, things that are highly most likely not contaminated with a whole lot of excessive blah. But I love to be in a health food store. Their prices are unique. So, yeah, anything from the chips. And one thing I loved that Daddy would invite me to is I could pick something off the shelf. So whatever I wanted to try, because he knew this was all new to me. Not quite sure what it was. Sometimes it was chips, you know, it might be chips. I think I remember getting pretzels at one point, or a cookie. You know, I love organic cereals, whole grain cereals. I love juice a lot. Like I miss drinking my grapefruit juice. When I first came out to Dayton, Ohio, for years, one of my secrets, might have been psychological, one of my secrets was, in my food diet, in order to burn a lot of fat off my body while I was working out, was white grapefruit juice. I usually only drank one kind, which was Ocean Spray. It was my favorite, and I drank about anywhere from 4 to 6 ounces every day before I went to bed for years. And when I came out here, I would freak out if I didn't get it. I'd go through withdrawal. I gotta have my grapefruit juice. The problem is I'm sorry, Daddy, if you're watching, I wanted that specific kind. Not that other stuff would be good, but in my opinion, I was brainwashed to believe it really worked. My secret was white grapefruit juice every night before bed. When I came out here, it was like I was dependent on that. So, and it was hard at times because sometimes people don't really understand. That is just something, even though I wanted to transition over to a healthier quality, if you will, organic. That meant a lot to me, but the thing is I always mind the calories. For people that heard me talk about diet before, calories, saturated fats, sodium. I pay attention to labels. And what I pay attention to the most, first is always the calories. If I'm getting 2 different items, I will compare the calories. It makes a difference to me. For some reason, I would go with 160. However, I will look down further and I will see the total fat. If it's the same, then we're in a good place. We'll look for the cholesterol, or let me say the cholesterol, and we'll see, and I'll keep comparing. You know, sugars, I like things with low sugars in it, low cholesterol, low sodium, if no sodium. Because there for the longest time in my life, I was eating things with a lot of high sodiums. And I wasn't paying attention to calories and stuff. That wasn't my reason why I got heavy set, but I do believe it contributed, like the sodium, I do believe it contributed to me having higher blood pressure years ago. Since I transitioned like I did, and since I stayed away from sodium products, high volumes of sodium, I noticed my blood pressure is always consistently low in a good way. It's normal now. Little tip, does it work? I don't know. Try it out, consider it. These are things that matter to me, and if I was dating somebody very serious or good friends with somebody, I would be guilty of trying to encourage them to eat healthy. It would mean a lot to me for somebody to share the joy of eating healthy. And not everything's so healthy, maybe, I don't know, but I love health food stores. Here they have all kinds of pancake batters, different kinds of sugars that I never had in my life. So I love to try new things. Coconut oil is a big thing that I started to try out here. Whether it's good or bad, what do you think? I don't know. Sea salts and stuff that I would try. I love to try different kinds of ketchups, especially when it's non-GMO. You see the sign? I love to have non-GMO products. I don't really know the details as to what that all entails with GMO. But evidently, it seems like it's something you don't want in your food if possible. So, and then of course, anything with organic. But I also watch for what's on the label and stuff like this. Like, I love caramel, you know, little for ice cream. I do like ice cream. I prefer vanilla with toppings like caramel. I used to love hot fudge sundaes when I was a kid. So I like a warm syrup over top, and they can be fun for intimate encounters. Yes, for both sides. Oh, and I want to say that my friend got me into this. Rice milk. Now, the thing is, I'll tell you, in my opinion, I've been trying to break dairy for years. I started off eating a lot of whole milk, drinking a lot of whole milk, that's what I'm referring to. And then I went down to 2%, and it was hard for me. I explained this. Then down to 1%. I had to be weaned off of it to fat-free. And I did that for a long time. And then when I came out here, I learned about rice milk. And it tastes really good, but the problem is... it's kind of filling for me. So, but I really love it, and I use it a lot of times to make my fruit drinks. My banana drink in the morning with a little bit of peanut butter, and I like coconut shreds in it. I'll put strawberries and kale. My favorite is simply banana, peanut butter, rice or almond milk, and kale with coconut shreds. 2 ice cream. 2 or 3 ice cubes. Very good. Nice breakfast for me. I look forward to that drink a lot. So then there's other alternatives and different foods in here, nuts and stuff. I really got turned on. Like, I use Earth Balance, soy-free stuff. I don't know what's... I want the best, whatever that is, so I'm doing the best I can with the budget I have currently. Even a lot of these waters, I love water a lot. What I would appreciate, one thing I appreciate in life and that I desire, is the most purest forms of food and water. I feel it's very nourishing, just that alone. I'm convinced that with a small diet of exercise, can be fully restored in many ways. Your health, your mental health, your physical health. So, it's important to me. I'm not as much of a nut. I would like it to be, actually, I would like it to not be anything more than just an enjoyable regularity in my life. I'd really like that. And I'd love to share it with other people who appreciate, you know, healthy food. With a simple occasion of, you know, this I did not get so much when I was living here in Xenia. I really love coconut milk. I love it. Soy milk, yeah, I guess I kind of do. Almond dreams. And here, actually, I'm surprised. Their prices are really good. Some of them are a little bit more up there, coconut and stuff. They're looking at like $7, $8 for one of those things. So obviously right now I don't give myself that too often. And I used to be huge into ice cream when I first came out here. But there's all kinds of wonderful things and supplements. Recently I had a lot of blood work done, I had hair samples done, because I've been dealing with what I've learned is electrical harassment, and I'm looking forward to explaining that to you, because it started off where I thought I was allergic. It was allergies from living here in Dayton, Ohio, something I was allergic to, and then I thought it had to do with what? I thought it had to do with the apartment building I was living in, and that there was a mold or something going on, because this here is kind of stuffy and my eye gets puffy at times. I may still have allergies, however, I'm really convinced that it has to do with electronic harassment. Who doesn't like waffles? Cheesecake. I love cheesecake and I love pumpkin pie. It's my favorite pie, especially around the holidays. I'm guilty of still loving pizza. The thing is this here looks really, really good. It looks really good. It looks good on the cardboard box. What do you think? It does. But I try to eat. I try to stay away pretty much from as much dairy as possible. But I still have it. I have eggs. I made egg salad recently. Fruits and vegetables. I kind of get a little bit bored because I'm not much of a chef. With a lot of the stuff I eat is pretty simple. Most people that wouldn't like cooking and stuff. That's not one of the things I'm best at. I love veggie burgers. Also love Christmas cookies. And I love to sit with somebody. I'm the kind of person that like making Christmas cookies. And just like when I was a kid, I'm the kind of person that would like to lean on the table and keep somebody company while they're showing me how to make amazing Christmas cookies. And I could lick out of the batter, upon completion, and taste test. I like to taste test. How you doing? Good. So another thing that I really value and really appreciate that I like in my life is, when necessary, is supplements. I have learned to be careful at times with supplements because I am very sensitive. There's some things that I cannot take. That I tried, like for sinus. Everything I tried, not just in supplements, medication, and supplements for sinus. I had a really bad negative reaction. But I still love to take supplements for some things. I like when my energy is high. I love it. I believe that most people, in a lot of situations, just simply their diet, getting on a good supplemental vitamin program, and just a wee bit of exercise, I'm convinced that most people can be restored into their youth and have a very fulfilled and fun life. I would like this kind of shopping to be a regular part of my life. One thing I liked about
Tristan, can you get that
living with Daddy is that he was really big into health food and supplements and stuff. He believed in having the best of health care, things like that. And we want to have a long life, and we want to be happy, fulfilled, and well-nourished. That's it. If there's something that I really need, and I'm going to look over here and see if there's something. It's the same with something I can get when I leave here. I think I'll just get one thing. But also, what I would like to try is, and I enjoy trying, is the various shampoos, organics, and natural conditioners and stuff. I don't really know what the result would be with the hair, but what I'm saying is I'd rather use very natural products and get away from a lot of the chemicals that are found in a lot of the products, if not all products, that we put on our body every day. And can I tell you, the more that I've learned by being with Daddy in our relationship, the transition to go from me, junk food junkie, and the food that I ate and was used to and grew accustomed to crossing over and eating healthy and getting on supplements and being careful of the products you use on your body. It's a transitional process that can be challenging at times, even if money's not the issue. Even if money is not the issue, it can still be quite the addiction, breaking at various addictions or what you're accustomed to coming over to something new. But can I tell you, and I want to assure you from my own experience, when I do nail it, meaning I do it on a regular basis, I feel a lot better. I look better, I have more energy, and I have more happiness, contentment, and fulfillment inside of me. Diet and a little bit of exercise go a long way. I have learned that to be true. What do you think? I love to talk to other people to learn more. Same with like makeups, wearing lotions, all of that stuff. It's a really good place to come. It's a very nice place to come. Different cookbooks. I'm a big juicer. Like this here looks interesting, doesn't it? I like to look at pictures and stuff. To be honest with you, that's why I'd like to be around or close to somebody that really loves and appreciates. Look how happy she looks. That's how happy I become. You know, I'm learning in life to happiness got to come from within, and it's nice to post pictures of yourself smiling, and it's nice to forgive people that circumstances have really hurt you. You know, it's okay not to like a facility for whatever reason you have. It's justified for you. Move on with life. That's what I plan on doing here. You know, will I stay in Dayton? Will I move to Columbus? Right now, I don't really have anyone directly. I just have learned to stay focused on what I call the God of life through humanity and connect online, which I'm really upset with you, Facebook and YouTube, for cutting off the circulation of my life. Just posting my art online, posting my thoughts, videos, pictures, can really lead me into the healthy and right relationships with me, which are people who accept me for who I am. This whole blocking, changing the view counts on people's videos is not only childish, it's detrimental to people's longevity in life. In my opinion, Facebook should be sued, and there should be serious penalties put against the people that are considered the CEOs and head of Facebook and YouTube for doing that. They have been messing with me since 2014 when I got my apartment, and I'm looking forward to sharing that. So I am here at a health food store. I'm going to see what I can grab, and then I'm going to say thank you and just let them know what I was doing. I always try to keep people out of my videos right now because, for the most part, unless I'm talking directly to them, because not everybody wants to be on camera. So I try to respect that in a situation that I'm actually talking to somebody. I know my legal rights, and I'd rather share that content. So you can see where I'm coming from. Leave comments down below. Subscribe to my channel. Where is it? Somewhere down here now. They changed everything to make things, believe it or not, more challenging, in my opinion, from what I went through, and I'll share that with you. Tom's. That was a new toothpaste. I gotta be completely honest. I really liked the toothpaste that I had, but this is more natural, and same with the mouthwash. So I was introduced to new stuff. That was some of the stuff that I was introduced to at my friend's house. Okay. So that's it. I'll get back with you after I get something.